From the Greg Ward Studio in Oxnard, California, and from the creator and producer of Luminary Sounds, it's The Late Show with Leto.
It's The Late Show with Leto and the one and only Shylah Ray in the building. Oh man, I'm happy to be here. Here we go. I've been waiting for this moment.
Me too.
I've been waiting for a moment. Ladies and gentlemen, Shylah Ray. Where do I begin? Because she is one of the most dynamic artists that you've likely never heard, because she's an independent artist, right?
That is right.
She's very creative. She has a relationship with Erykah Badu. This is true. And as you can see from her style, she's very eclectic. She is her own person. But my number one question, are you more known as an artist or a civil rights activist?
Artist for sure.
Artist for sure?
Yeah.
Why an artist?
Well, because I'm a singer.
Okay.
And I've been singing, I'd say I'm more active as a singer than an actual activist.
Okay.
Yeah, but that's been something important to me in my life. It's just been integrated, in different ways.
Okay, in different ways. Yeah. See, right now, what really caught my attention, and we've been talking about having you on the show for quite a while, right?
Yeah.
But there was a video of you on Instagram, and you were kind of like weeping, right?
Not kind of.
Pretty much you were weeping about what's going on in the world today.
Sobbing.
And a lot of your content is mixing with you as an artist and what's going on in the world with like the war, Ukraine, Palestine. Are you afraid of how people will take you as an artist standing so strong on your beliefs?
Absolutely not.
Okay. And why not?
Because I don't care what other people think.
Obviously you don't care what other people think.
Well, I know other people's opinions are valuable when I have an open mind and I'm able to learn, you know? But in my heart, that's different, you know? There's what we think and how we feel and how I feel about humanity, about human beings, how I feel about women and children, how I feel about, doing harm to others in that way. That's something different. It just feels innately wrong. And so whenever we see this, whenever I see this and witness this happening, something gets triggered.
Something gets triggered.
Very deep.
Okay.
So that's why it provoked that deep sadness to just witness what was going on.
Deep sadness?
Yes.
So like you go home and you think about this?
I think about it every day.
Every day?
Every single day.
Are you like creating music about this? How do you get into a space where you can be creative with so much destruction happening?
Now I'm creating. I feel like I've spent a lot of the last 8 months in kind of a deep grief. It's always there, it doesn't go away. It's kind of like when you lose someone close to you in your life,
Sure.
The thought of them never leaves. They're always with you in their heart, in your heart. And so I just know in the back of my mind, there's people suffering at all times. More than other times, I guess I've spent a lot of my life not always thinking about that. We're going about our life.
Sure,
I'm creating, I'm doing this, I'm making a living, I'm busy taking care of my children.
Right.
But this in particular, I've never witnessed anything like this in my life.
Never seen nothing like this.
No. So
you're very outspoken.
Yeah.
I've seen your comments where people are attacking you for how you feel.
Oh, but I do the same too.
So you go back.
It is met equally because I have a warrior spirit. Also, that does not want to be fucked with.
Okay.
So
all right.
if people say the wrong thing, I'm just like, no.
Okay. How have you ever gone back and forth with somebody that you've never known for a long period of time? You don't even know this troll.
Yeah, absolutely.
So you make time for that.
To some degree. If I feel like they're just way on the other side of the spectrum, then I go, God bless you. Have a great day. But when there's people who have been close to me where we really differ in not only our beliefs but our life experience.
Right.
I'm interested in getting to know somebody's life experience and what has shaped and molded them to be the person they are.
Yes.
Why do you care so much about this? Why are you writing songs about this? Why do you sign with that contract and that brand and work with that label and work with those people? Why do you fuck with those people? I want to know what drives somebody to create. Like, what is it? Like, what is in the forefront? Is it God? Is it spirit? Is it art? Is it money? Like, what drives you as an artist?
Are you a person that believes in God?
Come on.
Okay. Well, some people believe in different things. I feel like the type of work that you do, your music is so different, and we will talk about that. It's just that I feel like your spirit, you can't be fake in anything that you do.
I've tried.
It's very authentic. It's either you're with Shylah Ray or you're not.
Yeah.
Do people ever ask you to like change your style of music?
No.
Okay.
But the people who are closest to me that are in music, those are the only people's opinions that I truly value, because I know that they see me, they've been watching all my moves, they've been watching my evolution as an artist, as a singer. So if they have an opinion based on what they feel is best for me in my steps forward,
sure,
I will listen.
Okay.
I will listen, and I will take everything into consideration. I have an open mind, and especially when it comes to my artistry, I think the purpose of it is to evolve. I think the purpose of this path is to be as original as possible, be as authentic as possible, be as creative as possible, do what nobody else is doing, really think for myself, move how I feel God put me here to move, you know? And so that's why when the people closest to me who are my greatest reflection, my truest mirror, I take it seriously when somebody says, I think you really got to do this,
Who's your go-to? Because obviously it's your
so
close
funny,
people. Who's your go-to person?
Okay.
And maybe you might miss somebody if you want to name somebody else, possibly. Sure. I know you'll have an adoration for your children. Obviously, you're very close. But who's that person that comes to you and you're like, you know what? I want to hear this out.
There's a few. There's not just one. I wish I just had one main mentor. Obviously, Erykah is a huge influence when it comes to music, creativity, lifestyle, and how she raises her kids. That's one thing.
Right.
But as far as close relationships in my life, I'd say my best friends.
Best friends.
My best friends, They might not have to be musicians, but they know me. So they know what's best for me. They know when I'm digging myself into something. They know when I have a good opportunity and not to fuck it up. They know when I trust myself enough anyway. So I don't always ask people for guidance or advice because I have a sponsor.
You have a sponsor? Let's go.
I check in with my sponsor. I check in with my besties.
Can you name your sponsor?
Raina.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I love that.
She's amazing. Yeah, she's been there for me, and I've had a couple, and by that I mean in 12-step. I don't mean in life.
Sure. Okay. I got you.
That's another part of my story.
I got you.
That's okay.
I got you.
Very valuable relationship though, because I express my gratitude every day with my sponsors.
You're also big in nature.
That's right.
You're also big in nature.
Yeah.
I mean, you might just be butt naked in a forest somewhere, not giving a damn, and you're comfortable in that element.
So comfortable.
Are you a nudist?
Yeah.
Okay, see. This is interesting. The first nudist on the Late Show with Leto, and it's true. And you're very comfortable. Where does that comfort come from? Just like, I'm one with nature, this is my body.
Because all this is man-made, and before all of this was nature.
This is true. Yes.
Okay, so we had to be comfortable in that, and now we're trying to get comfortable in these square buildings with the lights and all the stuff. We have all this shit.
Yes. Yeah.
So before all the stuff and all the shit, we had trees, we have flowers, we have rocks, we had the sun. God, that sun. The sun. I worship the sun.
You worship the sun.
I do.
Also water. You're big on water.
Love water. Water's healing. Water's our tears.
Certain
water's
waters
our
you won't.
emotions.
I'm sorry. Certain waters you won't drink though.
That's right. I don't drink water out of plastic.
You don't drink any water out of plastic.
Nobody should be drinking water out of plastic or the tap.
Tell the world about it.
The world should know this. We're very privileged in America to feel like we have clean water, when in reality it is not. This water is full of chemicals. Okay? Full of pharmaceuticals, the residue of all these people who are on these chemical drugs.
Yes.
And this is going in, and just everything else. I don't even want to get into it. It's disgusting. So, we have to honor our bodies. Our bodies this is our temple.
I mean, some people don't know. I know for myself.
It's amazing to me that people don't know.
I still drink out of plastic bottle of water. And I know you're going to kill me for that. I still do. But one thing that I will not do, if I leave the water in the car for the next day, I toss it out.
Because but that's wasteful.
Well, it is.
Why would you buy that and then throw away the container?
So the reason why I do throw it away is one point in my life, I tasted the water and it didn't taste the same as when I got the water originally. I felt like I was tasting some of the plastic that was in there. Yes, and that was my thing of no.
Okay, so what have you learned from that?
I've learned that if Shylah Ray is here, then
what is the solution? Let's talk about that.
Well, I mean, is it VSOP, the water that's in the glass bottle? I'm not sure if that's the right name for
all
it.
different. Do you want to, like that one? See, and I got a crystal in
Yes,
mine.
there's something like that.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I'm just like every other average person. I just don't spend a lot extra on the glass. And you're right, I should.
This is reusable. I just fill that up.
Okay.
I go and buy alkaline water because we need to alkalize our body because we're very acidic. Being acidic makes you sick. Mm-hmm. So if you get a glass container, and then you put a little crystal in it, it charges it, gives it good vibes, you know?
I got my mug. You know what I'm saying? My Stanley. Is it okay to drink out of my Stanley?
No.
Tell me why is it not okay for my Stanley?
I want to hear that word again.
Okay, tell me why. I want to know.
Because I don't like shit that's trending.
Why? That's why. Not for health reasons.
But what is it? What is on the inside? Metal?
I believe so, yeah.
Yeah, if it's plastic, absolutely not. If it's metal,
it's not plastic.
It's okay.
Yeah.
But glass is better.
Glass is better, yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I love my Stanley, and it is part of the trend.
It's all right.
And I got my. I did.
It makes you feel cool. Makes you.
I did a reel
cute.
about it. I was very excited about my Stanley. Yeah, I did.
I have to hear about it through my kids. They don't like the trends because they're like me, right? Anything that's trending, they reject.
Anything that's trending.
Yes.
Okay. Bob Marley movie. Did you see it?
We all went. Yeah.
It was trending.
It was, but I didn't follow the trend. After that movie, you know what I felt like doing?
What?
I would have just preferred to watch his old interviews and watch real live performances.
You didn't like it?
No.
I've heard people say they didn't like it.
It's just more dramatization of what has happened to legends, like same with the Amy Winehouse film, you know? We don't need any more dramas to show us what happened in these people's lives. We need to recycle the content and the interviews that these people did, which made them legendary, you know?
The biopic, you don't think is doing justice for the artist. You feel like the interviews tell the story more.
Absolutely, yeah, when you get to know who he really is, because again, I don't think films really depict real life in that way, you know?
I'm waiting for Marvin Gaye for that film, the biopic. I don't know when.
But there hasn't been one on him already.
There has not been one.
So we
That's
welcome
something that I'm accepting.
We give it a chance.
And there's not a lot
but
of
if
interviews.
the foundation of it is to make money, I'm not into it.
Well, it's all to make money.
Right, so why do we need it? People should be, if you are a Bob Marley fan, live like he did. Live how you wanna live. I'm not gonna say it. Rastaman.
No, I love
it. Yeah. Positive. You got to have a good vibe. So what is he saying? What's his message? Right?
For me, his message has always been peace and love.
Not necessarily peace. He was a believer in resistance as well.
Well, I mean, he
was a fighter as well.
Well, you know? In the Bible, Jesus flipped the tables over. So
anger is okay. And anger and resistance is okay.
And I feel like it is love, it is peace, but if you have to defend yourself, then yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah, it's a tricky subject.
It is a tricky
subject. And I'm not political. I'm passionate. You know, I don't get into the politics. You're not political. I don't like to debate with people about it because, again, I know my truth. I know why I'm here. I've integrated as part of my purpose. You know, I really do trust in like the path that God, that Spirit has.
This is true. Okay.
You know, aligned for me, and I'm just here living it out and trying to be in service every day.
Now you have an adoration for Erykah Badu and Tupac. If you had
a lot more.
But if between those two, if you had to choose to do something with, who would you choose?
Well, one is actually possible and one's not.
If it was both possible, that's good. If it's both possible, obviously they're both passionate and you're passionate. Where do you think you would fit in?
I mean, again, that's tough. Why you do that?
Because I want to put you on the spot. I know you love these artists.
Because the thing is that my voice can be similar to Erykah's. There's a similar style there. She has influenced the neo soul style that my vocals are. So it would be more of a similar dynamic.
Okay.
Whereas Tupac, there would be a beautiful balance, you know, where he featured a lot of vocalists to balance out, you know, his strong masculine, you know, gangster, fucking legendary style that we all love, you know, his poetic flow. And so, you know, I just feel like that's tough. That's tough.
It's too tough for you. I want to talk about claiming your birthright.
Yeah.
You've mentioned that before. Can you explain to people what do you mean when you say claiming your birthright?
Well, I didn't know that I was loved growing up. Like, I didn't always feel that, you know? And
Okay.
the love from parents and family is different from the love of God, I feel.
Oh, absolutely.
And because I don't have parents and family in my life today.
You don't have any family in your life?
No, I've been on my own since 18. So.
Is
18,
this
19.
related to an environment that you grew up with that was just not safe and you chose
Just
to
not
leave?
what, not, yeah, I did choose to leave.
Okay.
I pieced out when I was about 18. And so I haven't had parents in my life supporting me since then. Wow. I know that they love me, but you know, it's one thing to say it and it's one thing to act on it. And there's been many acts of love that, you know, I feel come from the heart, but yeah, I had a really troublesome upbringing because there's alcoholism in my family.
Okay.
My mother's Native, First Nations Algonquin, Native American, and so.
I'm part Cherokee.
Right.
Yeah.
So there's we all have little fractions of this, but I was raised next to a Native reservation,
Okay.
and it ran strong, you know, in our community. You know, I went to school mostly. I didn't go to school with any black kids. It was all just white and natives. That's it. That's
Did you
all I
feel
knew
like you were
growing up.
just different?
I always felt different because I knew I had a gift of singing,
Okay.
you know, and creativity. And I was an artist even when I was a kid. I was, you know, I was always a singer. I was a dancer. I could draw and paint. I was always very creative. I was
Yeah.
always doing things like that. I always
Yeah.
had a huge imagination and always saw myself doing great things. So, you know, when you're not supported and encouraged to do those things and to be that, you know, I had to leave. I had to leave to feel more supported.
Was it hard to leave, or
No,
were you,
no.
you just ready to go?
I was so fucking
ready
ready
to
to
go.
go.
You're ready to go.
I hitchhiked. I just left.
They weren't reaching out to you
When?
when you left. They weren't like, Shylah, where? I know you're 18, but where are you going?
I mean, yeah, they wanted to know.
Okay.
I was on my own.
You were on your own.
I was claiming my sovereignty.
I like
You
that.
know, I needed to leave. I knew, I got the message so many times, and mind you, during these years, they were the most pivotal years of my life, to be honest. I was listening to a lot of Bob Marley, I was smoking a lot of weed, and it brought me a lot of peace. Those moments of just plant medicine, music, looking into myself and getting, messages I want to say, like from God, from Spirit, from Creator, like to follow my heart, to follow my instinct. And the message became so clear that I needed to move if I really wanted to evolve. I wasn't going to evolve if I stayed in that same vibration.
Okay.
If I stayed there,
I see.
I was going to become like everybody else in my family. Nobody left.
And you had to go.
I had to go.
Had to go.
Yeah, best decision of my life.
Best
That's how
decision
I
of
wouldn't.
your life.
I wouldn't be here today.
I love that. I mean, it sounds like the moves that you made, the right path has been made for you. Obviously, I seen a story, or you talking about it, that you did a song on shrooms, and
Many
songs on shrooms. But it was a song that you did where you were going to go out at one point in time, and it's called "Girl."
Yeah.
And for whatever reason, you were at this high that you didn't want to leave, and then you kind of looked in the mirror.
It's not that I didn't want to leave. I literally couldn't.
You physically
I could
couldn't
not
leave.
get in the car.
Okay,
to
so
drive.
where does that girl come from? Where does that come from, and why shrooms when you make music?
Okay, first of all, psilocybin
Okay.
is the appropriate name.
Okay, there we go. Okay.
With
Is
psilocybin,
it safe?
Of course it's safe.
Okay, all right.
Why wouldn't it be safe?
Well, for the people that don't know about shrooms, like everyone does it in Denver.
Yeah, some people do it recreationally. I started by doing it more medicinally. I started it by doing it more for self-growth and self-awareness when I was about, I would say, 18. And just fell in love with this medicine because of how it made me feel. Just like it brought up the most beautiful feelings. It helped me love myself. So that song is about self-love.
Girl.
And that song isn't necessarily for me. I feel like sometimes the songs come through me for others.
Okay.
I already love myself. That's not an issue.
Right.
I have my days, I have my moments. I still criticize
Of course.
myself. It's part of the journey.
Which we all do.
Yeah, it's part of the
absolutely,
journey,
yeah.
but I accept it. I don't hang on to it. I don't cling to it. I don't believe my thoughts about myself.
Good. I like that. You don't believe your thought. Like you don't
No.
believe any type of
They
negative
come up.
thoughts that come up.
They come up.
Okay.
And then I go, not today.
Not
And then-
today.
yeah.
Teach people that will be watching this interview, what do you do to block the negative thoughts that come? Because some people, they hold on to them.
Right, because they're not building that relationship with self. They're not doing things that are good for themselves. They're watching the news. They're believing things that, they're believing hateful words. They're feeding into that. But,
Sure.
you have to feed the part of yourself that loves life, that loves yourself, that is one with nature, that wants to innately take care of the self and others, that is good at what you do. You have to believe that nobody else is going to actually believe that for you. You have to believe that deep down. So because I have that, I just thought in that moment, because I was being kind of hard on myself, like, wow, I'm so high right now, I can't leave.
Well, why did
I was supposed to go out.
Why did you get so high?
It wasn't even like I was so high. Like I wasn't
but
so far
you couldn't
gone.
move, right?
That is not true.
Okay.
I could move. I was looking at myself in the mirror. I was walking around my friend's apartment. I ate a chocolate bar that had psilocybin in it, and I did not know. My friend said, "Help yourself." To whatever is there, and I did.
I see.
And I didn't bother to ask, does this chocolate have mushrooms in it? And so I ate it, and that was the outcome.
Okay, I see. Okay.
And I don't regret it. And
You
I've
don't
done that
regret it.
several times.
Several times.
I've had accidental doses many times, and it's always welcomed because I go, oh, this is what's needed. I guess I need to be present with these feelings. I guess I need to do this work with myself right now.
Really?
Yeah.
So the accidental dosage, that's just something that, no big deal?
Now, the first time you experience something like that, it's scary. Because it's like, oh my God, why do I feel this way? You start like, the heart races, you can get the shits. That those things happen physically to the body and it can be alarming. But after a while, you get to know that feeling and then my job is to surrender to it. You can't stop what's happening when it's happening, right?
Right.
Like, plant medicines like that, like, something devastating, a lawsuit. Like you can't stop these things. You have to surrender to it and do your best to move with it. So that's all that I've done.
That's
just
interesting.
move with it. Yeah, it is.
Can you make music sober, not on anything? And if you
can,
what is the best thing that you've made sober?
Everything.
Everything. Okay.
Mostly everything.
You don't listen to songs and be like, I made this when I was smoking marijuana.
I don't smoke weed anymore. I haven't smoked weed in like 8 years.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. Why'd you give it up?
Recreationally. It wasn't making me feel good anymore. My thoughts changed. When I was younger, it was, cannabis really saved me when I was young. Again, during those years where I needed to get out of my household and I needed to find myself and get on my own path, it gave me such beautiful clarity. It made me so happy. It brought me a sense of inner peace I'd never experienced in my life. Over the years, it wasn't sitting with me so well anymore. It started to provoke dark thoughts. Negative thoughts about myself. And I thought,
maybe it was laced.
No, this has been many times. My body chemistry has changed maybe, and I just don't receive it. Also, I'm not really down with the hybridized weed these days. Like I love that old school, homegrown, under the sun, give it lots of love. Like I'm down with that, but like back in the day and now there's all these other, so I don't know if it's just the strain. It just doesn't sit well with me, but I can do it once in a while if it's just like with friends, close friends. Yeah.
I have something to say, and I'm not just saying this to just gloat. I'm being very honest with this. Lessons in Love, vocally, I think that you met a register that I've never heard from you before. And the style of music that you've done for Lessons in Love, it is a neo-soul, urban type of record. And for me, I think that's your cup of tea. Why did you choose to make that kind of an album out of everything else you've made?
It wasn't a choice. It's just part of my evolution as an artist. Once again, I just think that's, my voice has changed. When you listen back to early recordings, like my voice is different. Everybody's voice is different. Rihanna's voice is different. Beyonce's voice is different.
Yes.
Look at how even Mariah's voice has changed over the years. It's deepened and it's become more soulful, and it's been able to stretch. Also, since I've been teaching singing and music, my voice has stretched a lot, and my register has absolutely changed because of the way I've been working my voice. The songs, I can't really explain like why the songs are different. They just are. I just think there were a couple of relationships that, moved me to get a certain feeling, and style that needed to happen.
Right.
Like there's a couple on there that are a little sassy.
It's a little sassy.
A little sassy, but then very soft. And then there's a balance of like, then there's the softness.
And then there's like the gospel side of you as
Yeah,
well. Like this spiritual, this healing.
Yeah.
And when are you going to just make a gospel album? It has to be something
I
you're
don't
going
know
to
enough.
eventually evolve to.
I don't know enough. For
Okay.
real gospel, you know,
Well-
I'm down with gospel, but you know, and this is a conversation that I feel we can even have personally.
Sure.
Is that I don't have that kind of relationship with Jesus to be able to sing to Jesus in that way, but I have a relationship with creation,
Mm-hmm.
with what I know as God, as my higher power. I can sing to that, and I have spoken to that.
Right.
My song Guidance is about my higher power,
Right.
and it took me hitting a rock bottom, getting into 12-step, having nothing.
Sure.
I lost everything for a moment and then had to rebuild my life back up, and I couldn't have done so without higher power. So I dedicated this song to, you know, to this.
I think
voice.
when it comes to gospel music, my father was a preacher, and I
Right.
grew up and listened to BBC Winans, DC Talk,
Right.
artists like that. And one thing I recognize as people in general, there's no such thing as like a perfect Christian. So I don't think there's an evolution that you need to reach or have a better understanding if you're coming from a perspective that you want to give your gift out of what God is giving you, right? And the type of music that you do and how great you are as an artist, I think it would be holding back because there's gospel artists that you don't have to sound churchy. You can just sound like you sound. And
Yeah,
it's a gospel record based off of your feelings and
I
and how you
could.
feel.
I need to go to church more.
You need to go to church. Okay,
I
this is true.
don't go to church. I would go to church, but again, I need to go to like a non-denominational, like all
Okay.
religions,
Are-
because
are
I'm
you-
not a Christian.
Are you afraid to go to church?
Absolutely not.
Okay.
It's just always really early on Sundays, and
Would
I
you-
stay up so fucking late that I never get
so-
to. But if I was invited and they were like, "Girl, we want you to come sing," and you know, and here's the song and practice it, and we'll pay you. I don't have to be paid, but it's nice.
But they do pay. Yeah.
Yes, but
Yeah.
if they were like, "We want you to come and sing and be in service," I'd be like, "Absolutely yes, absolutely yes." Just to come have the experience.
You're missing your calling. I think you are.
Okay.
For the people who have not heard Shylah Ray, you have to listen to Lessons of Love, and then you go back to this interview and chat underneath that she's kind of crazy because you're exceptionally well as an artist, and I just think that you should give it a try.
I will. I'm also really devoted to plant medicine. You know,
Yeah.
they're referred to. It's like they have their own church. You know, like peyotes, Native
Okay.
American church. You know, and then
Yeah.
ayahuasca has its own kind of church.
Sure.
So this is something that I've dedicated myself to. And if anything, I would do a medicine music album where I
A
would.
medicine music album.
Yes. So
Okay.
medicine music is different from church music. Medicine music is different from gospel. It's a completely different genre that is becoming more popular now because so many people are seeking clarity, healing, and transformation through plant medicine. And so these people are finding the music because the music is a huge foundation to the actual experience itself.
Do you think the labels are afraid of you?
Labels?
Yeah,
What
music
labels?
labels. Music labels. Because you're the type of artist that will come through the door.
I don't think they're afraid of anything except getting sued.
Yeah, well, yeah, you come through the door and they want you to create a certain type of music and you're like, not today.
It's
not
never
how-
happened.
That's never happened.
Never happened.
Okay.
Nobody approaches me about that.
No one,
I kind of wish they would.
Okay.
So I could be like, let's talk, you know?
really?
Yeah. Just
Would
to
you-
have those conversations.
Would you sign to a big label?
Absolutely not.
Okay, why not?
Because they're all owned, and I don't want to become owned either.
This is what I mean.
Yeah.
Like they want you to do a certain type of music.
I love owning my music. I love owning my own music. I love being able to do whatever the fuck I want with my music.
Yeah.
I don't like having to create music because somebody says so. I move at my own pace. I have my own cycle, and you know I have my own season and cycle as an artist, my own process, and I don't want to feel pressured or pushed or even that excitement, you know, through something else other than just the pure drive of spirit, I guess, you know.
You know, I would love for you to do more shorts and reels.
I know.
I would love for you to because
I get it.
because you're all, and it's not like you can't do it. If you look at your stories,
Oh, I know.
it's like 50 clips, and you got to go through each one. And if you want to go back and
Oh,
watch
instead
it,
of stories, you mean? Yeah,
because you do so many stories.
I'm overboard with the stories. It's true.
And I think you should transition to shorts.
I need help. I have an assistant. Thank God.
Okay.
They say you're amazing.
Okay, it was just where's your assistant?
And then I've got help. My whole team is in Colombia.
Are you? Oh,
I've got a whole team.
Where's your next show?
New London, Minnesota.
New London, Minnesota.
Yeah, June 21st.
They should be booking shorts, 1 minute shorts, and just pieces of your performance. Every day.
Yeah.
Every day.
Yeah.
The location.
I'm working on it. I'm working on the content thing. Yeah, I don't want to sit there and do reels. I don't know how people do that. I don't want to work out on my phone. I just want to play on my phone.
It's just when you just want to play Candy Crush.
No, I don't mean actually play. I'm doing business.
Yes, absolutely.
I'm posting stories. I don't like the editing process.
You don't like editing? No.
Who likes to edit?
I'm going to be honest, I kind of like it.
No. I like to curate. I'm like, I want that song.
Okay.
I want this to happen at that time, but I just don't want to do it. So I will pay somebody to do it. So that's what I do.
Wow.
Yeah.
I can do it for you.
Okay.
Your boy Julian Letter could do it for. I mean,
All right.
it's not a problem.
See. Look, if you have a vision, if you see something for me, let's go.
I do. I mean,
to see what is created.
I mean, I can already see. I mean, the talent is there. It's just that music now, it is a business. It's always been a business, but now the artist is responsible of curating that content on an everyday platform. They had this guy said, Oprah Winfrey came on 5 days a week, right? And if she stopped coming on, you would stop tuning in. So it's the same thing with your content. If you're not posting, if you're not active, people will tune out and go somewhere else that they are. And people are fans of anything. Yeah. They're fans of families. They're fans of the guy that cooks. They're fans of people that are chefs.
Yeah.
You should do it.
I do. Because I'm not releasing new music all the time, I think, I have to be creating something, and that's content. And that's what a lot of artists are doing. Then there's some artists that are, continual with the releases, and those people stay current because that's the best content we could be making.
Yeah.
That's the best thing I could be doing is actually making music. And I'm not doing enough of that. That's the truth.
Well, we'll talk about that after it's over. Lessons of Love. What is your favorite song on the album?
Love Is.
Love Is.
Yeah, it's the last song in the album. It gets the least attention. Go listen.
And why does it get the least attention?
Because it's the last song in the album. Nobody listens to a whole album all the way through anymore.
But you did a good job. You have it around, 9 songs? 9 to 10 songs?
Yeah.
So it's not overly saturated with songs. They're all good songs. You think it's people's attention span?
Yeah, of course.
Okay.
Yeah, if they really love it, they love it.
Right.
And they will listen the whole way through. But for some people, I've looked at my stats. That's why Love Is has the least amount of listens. And just like Girls, the first one, it's got the most.
That makes
Girls
sense.
in the lead. And did I know that was going to be the actual most popular song on the album?
Yeah.
I had a bit of a feeling.
You had a bit of a feeling?
Yeah, because I got the download when, remember when Spirit was working through and gave me the song? Yeah.
Mine is So Far. So Far is my favorite.
That's a favorite with the awards.
Yes, it is. And I mean, I can understand why. It's a song that you can play it on radio, you can play it in the mall, it's just good everywhere, that type of song.
Yeah. That one means a lot. That song was about getting current. It was kind of just about everything. It was it was about that one was about God too. It was let me just get current with myself. And
we got to get this gospel album going. We got to get it going. See, we got to get it going. Okay, but I just want to say it has been a pleasure having you on. I hope that people got to know a little bit more about you.
Me too.
Absolutely. Shylah Ray, everybody. Shylah Ray, thank you.
Thank you so much.